Hey, welcome to Talkalcoholics. Claudia here, and today we're talking about something that has shaped cultures, started revolutions, and made us all dance in embarrassing ways. Music. It is not just about music in general, it's about music as a method of free expression. To start, I have a question for you guys. Do you think that music is really a method of free expression?
Hi everyone, I'm Eddie, and okay, that's an interesting topic to talk about because it moves the world. As you know, we have a lot of references that we can bring up, for example, some artists or famous songs, etc. And from a point of view, music is not a method of free expression. I'm going to talk about a few examples from pop music to explain why.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Hey, what's up? I'm Sebastian, and I agree with you, Eddie. In my opinion, it's not a method of free expression. In order to support this, I'm going to explain specific events in hip hop music and talk about the most important artists that's in this genre.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm George, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today. From my point of view, music is a form of free expression and release. For example, the rock and roll genre changed music forever. Starting in the 1950s, it marked the beginning of a revolution. Over the following years, different evolution of rock and roll emerged, such as hard rock, heavy metal, thrash metal, punk, and grunge. In my opinion, this genre has shaped generations.
That's right.
Okay, hi guys, I'm Andres, and in my case, I agree with you, George. It is a way to express opinions that aren't expressed freely. In my opinion, it is a fantastic topic. I will give you some reasons why the Spanish rock genre has influenced some cultural and social change in Latin America and its origins, also the few facts.
It sounds like we are going to have a really good time with today's topic. Now we have a few different music genres. Okay, George, what would you like to tell us?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, rock music emerged in the 1950s in the United States, blending genres like blues, country, and rhythm. Pioneers like Chuck Berry, Little Richards, and the legendary Elvis Presley brought it to the life with their energy and electrifying rhythms. I think that rock and roll became an outlet and a method of free expression for many people. For example, in the 16th and 17th, the hippie culture emerged, and rock was always their symbol of identification. Since people strongly identified with its lyrics and rhythms, and even used them in political protest and all kinds of other forms. In the 18th era, a revolution of new subgenres arrived that became very popular, such as glam metal, heavy metal, or thrash metal, which greatly influenced their listeners to the point of dressing in a certain way and influencing their behavior and way of thinking to express their emotions. Great bands to name a few, such as Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, or other genres like hard rock, for example, Aerosmith, Kiss, Guns N' Roses, among others, have left behind great legacies and anecdotes throughout history, such as the band Scorpions. Well, guys, did you know that thanks to a song by this band, the Berlin Wall was torn down?
Really?
No, I didn't know about this, George. It is a very interesting fact.
Yeah. Well, in 1990, when the two Germanies were divided, the band Scorpions composed the song Wind of Change as a protest against this war that divided the same country. In contrast, and thanks to the influence of this song, the wall was torn down, and Germany became one country again. And even nowadays, rock continues to evolve, influence, and merge with various genres, likewise giving the people a method of relief and free expression. As Twisted Sister Band says in her song, "You can stop rock and roll." Yeah.
It is very interesting, George. Which bands that you tell you have been in Colombia?
Well, in Colombia, have presentation great bands. The first great band that presentation in Colombia was Guns N' Roses.
Oh yes, I remember.
Yeah, yeah, in the 1992. Even was a anecdote in this concert when the Guns N' Roses band begins to play the song November Rain,
Yes.
begin to rain in Bogota, in the Campín Stadium. Yeah.
I think it's interesting, and I would have liked to go to Guns N' Roses show because in my case it is one of my favorite bands, and I will have liked to go, but it was on 1993. Yeah. When was?
90.
I-
1992 was
I
the
haven't
first concert.
I haven't born.
I was
Me
like
too.
7 years
Me
in that
too.
moment.
I remember that this band is my favorite band, Guns N' Roses. I remember that I listened this genre with my sister. My first song that I listened about this band was "Welcome to the Jungle." It's my favorite song. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I liked it as
Yeah,
well.
very good.
Recently, Guns N' Roses have been in Colombia. I don't know if you remember. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, in the park, I don't remember in the
three,
Simón Bolívar?
three,
no,
no,
in
no, in Estadio Campín.
yeah, yeah.
The last concert is in Estadio Campín. Yes.
Presentation also in the Jaime Duque Park. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Okay, now I want to talk to you about the event where the singer Tupac and Biggie were killed. First, do you know who those singers were?
Yeah, I know who is Tupac, but I haven't listened about Biggie. I know who is Tupac because when I was 15 or 16 years old, he was one of my favorite singers, and I knew about a little about that problem about into Tupac and Biggie, but I really don't know
I
anything.
haven't heard about it, but I would like to know more about them.
I have listened a little about Tupac. No more.
I know that Tupac is a great representative of this genre of music. That is very good
hip-hop
for me.
music.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay, they were hip hop exponent singers. When they started their singers' career, they had a friendship, but after that they had a lot of problems. Like when Tupac was recording on a studio in New York, he went out shouting. He thought that Biggie and Puff Daddy knew it, and after that they had some other problems. After that, Tupac recorded a song where he insulted Biggie, and it was called "Him Up." They had some other problem, but I think that when Tupac started to name Illuminati in his songs, he broke different problems with the elite. And I think that the elite killed him, making us believe that Biggie was the responsible, and after that they killed Biggie, but it's just a theory.
Although it's just a theory, I think that it has a lot of coherency because, how I said, I think that music isn't a method of free expression, and I think it could be true, but it's just a theory. I don't know.
Wow. Is it true, bro? I listened to hip hop and a little Tupac when I said you before, but I never heard about this. It seemed someone wanted to silence him. I think it is. In my case, I like rock because it's a genre that has not only been a voice of protest, but also of identity and revolution for many young Spanish speaking people. For example, the songs Matador and Tercer Mundo by Los Fabulosos Cadillacs is about resistance to oppression and the importance of remembering the victims of authoritarian regimes. And there are other examples of groups that talk about these types of topics. In its early years, as you know, Spanish rock arrived in Latin America with influence from Anglo-Saxon rock. In the late 60s and early 70s, groups like Soda Stereo, Caifanes, and Los Prisioneros began to blend rock sounds with local influence, creating a unique style that became forget in the identity of each country. In the 80s and 90s, Spanish rock experienced explosion of creativity with the rise of bands like Maná, Héroes del Silencio, and Spiritual Vigars. The genre continued to evolve and merge with new sounds while always maintaining the rebellious spirit that characterizes rock today. We also rock blending with genres like pop, rap, and electronic music, providing that it remains a file of innovation and experimentation.
Well, well, Andres, in my opinion, Spanish rock has evolutionated a lot. In other genre like heavy metal, Spanish rock is very good.
It's nice.
Is nice, yeah. This has great representatives like has Barón Rojo, for example, or Héroes del Silencio and Ángeles del Infierno. Or even here in Colombia, a great representation was Elkin Ramirez to the to the Kraken band. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's good. I love Bunbury's voice. I really love. And in fact, he sang a song with Zoe, and it was great. I recommend it to you.
Thank you. I have never listened about them, but I want to.
You should too. In my opinion, music has been used as a method of free expression, not only for the things you mentioned before, like political problems or other things, but also as a way to express our inner emotions, the difficult situations and deeper emotions that most of the singers have. For example, most of the time these are related to the singer's personal lives. Sometimes it works for them and sometimes it doesn't. I like alternative rock, and what I like the most about it is the lyrics. I'm not just a fan of one band or singer, but also of the lyrics and the stories behind them. The melodies and lyrics reflect the struggles the artists have been through. To mention one, there's a Nirvana and his singer Kurt Cobain. He spreads his struggles with depression and addiction throughout his songs. Tracks like Lithium and Serve the Servants reflect his feelings about his parents' divorce and his struggles with bipolar disorder. Have you heard about Nirvana, Eddie?
About Nirvana, yeah, I have listened some songs, but about Kurt Cobain, I have listened that he killed himself with a gun, but I really don't know if it is true or not.
Also, I have listened that his wife killed him, but it is not theory confirmed for the moment.
Okay, but I think that could be true because, as we know, he was at his home, and when he killed himself or when his wife killed him, He was maybe for 3 days at his home, and I think, how did you know? How don't, didn't you know if someone is dead in your house? Because just the smell or the sound of the gun could say all the things. I don't know.
Exactly, and is one of the theories around the Cobain's death. And another important singer who faced similar hardships was Chris Cornell from Soundgarden and Audioslave. Like Cobain, he expressed himself through songs such as Like a Stone, which talks about self-reflection, and Be Yourself, which highlights the importance of staying true to ourselves. Unfortunately, both Cobain and Cornell decided to end their lives. They needed more than just singers to overcome their inner battles and emotional pain. Chris Cornell's suicide had a big impact on his friend Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. Do you hear about it?
Yes, I heard about
I heard.
about it.
Yeah, Linkin Park is a very known band, and Chester Bennington was struggling with depression, anxiety, and self-doubt due to the childhood trauma. Bennington expressed these feelings in songs like Numb and Crawling. The latter refers to the inner struggle of someone who feels trapped in their emotions and unable to escape their own suffering. Chester was deeply affected by Chris' death, and 2 months later, he took his own life as well. His final performance of One More Light now feels like a powerful call for mental health awareness. On the other hand, a singer who has faced similar problems but choose music as a kind of therapy is Dan Reynolds from Imagine Dragons. Songs like Believer and Demons talk about his challenges and how he has worked to overcome them. Unlike the others, he also found help in therapy and exercise, along with music to deal with his struggles.
Guys, have you ever listened about Imagine Dragons?
No,
No?
I didn't.
I just listened about the song Believer.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
yeah,
the,
na,
it's
na,
the
na,
most
na,
common,
na,
believer.
Believer.
Even
Yeah.
it's used as some announcement or something
Yeah,
like that.
and I have never listened about them. And the another song, Demons. I don't know. I
It's
really
good.
don't know about it.
I recommend it to you guys, please.
I'm going to listen
Sí.
a lot of songs and a lot of artists after this podcast. Okay, in my case, pop music has a lot of interesting songs, artists, and history, and some fun facts. But today, I'd like to talk about how pop artists don't have privacy in their life. Some examples could be Britney Spears, Michael Jackson, and Madonna. As we know, they are some of the most important pop artists. In the case of Madonna, of Britney, sorry, she couldn't have her life because his dad was managing her career and all the things that she had to do. It was until maybe 2022 or 2023, I don't remember, but so that she could be free. In the Madonna case, she didn't have privacy in her life because she was always a judge for everyone. When she adopted her sons for all the things that she did, and when she was rape victim, everyone placed the blame on her or something that we know, for example, Michael Jackson, because when he died, we have a lot of theories about his death because a lot of people, a lot of fans said that he was killed for someone by someone that didn't want to he said something specific because he knew a lot of things about the industry of music and he tried to solve some problems about them or something about the kids because he loved kids and he tried to help them to don't be with specific people that wanted to make bad things to them. And I think that it's something really interesting and strange because they just wanted to be them and they just wanted to express themselves. For that reason, I said that they don't have free
Free expression.
free expression. Thank you, because if they say something specific, they will be killed, or they will be hidden by them, by the people who has a lot of power. And I
Maybe
think
they has that feeling that maybe if they say something that is wrong, people don't like it, the industry don't like it, maybe it's the finish of their careers.
yeah, that's true. Although in the case of Madonna, I have seen a lot of interviews by her, and she always said what she thinks, and she don't try to hide or try to say things to hide another things. Just she said all the things that she thinks, and she talks with the truth. And I think that's she's maybe a rude or a I don't know how I can say valiente.
Brave.
She's brave.
She's brave.
Yeah.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George.
She's brave because she talk all the things that she wants to say, and I think that she's really brave to do it in the industry. And she's maybe, I don't know, I don't remember pretty well, but she's maybe 63, 64 years old, and she had been all the things that
She's still the queen of pop.
of pop. That's true.
Yeah, about
Okay, guys. In conclusion, as we were talking about, we have free expression. So we have free expression. So until a specific point, because as we were talking, if you talk about some specific topic, could be political situation, industry of music, some things that are sacred. The most probably thing is that you could have to hide yourself, try to run away, but you can't talk. Write or sing about something bad until a specific point. Guys, if you want to express yourself, do it. Don't be afraid to be who you are, and don't hide yourself and your feelings. Be who you want to be and take care with mental health. That's the most important thing.
You are a sable. You are a wiser, Eddie. Yeah, that's true. You can do wherever you want, and music is the message that the music try to transmit to us.
Guys, do you want to say anything else, or?
No, I think it's all for today's episode. Thank you for being here, guys. Have an excellent day, and thank you for joining us. And bye bye.